Good morning all, and welcome our speaker today. I would request Director Sir to go ahead with some address for the session, sir. So would you like to say something?
Especially thanks to Madgulkar sir, because what happens at building and planning at those level in the foreign countries, how the multiple parameters affect on that one. So that has to be, we are eager to actually hear from the Madgulkar sir that what happened over there and how it can be affect the planning for that one. So even I am not a civil guy, but even I am also eager to hear you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Professor Londe to kindly introduce us to the speaker. Sir, kindly please go ahead. Londe, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. And good morning, all of you. Good morning, students. Good morning, Director, sir, HOD, ma'am.
Good morning.
And all my colleagues. Good morning, Sarang.
Good morning, Srinivas.
I have informed students actually as Sam, but now I am calling you Sarang, so that students would know that though it is Sam, it is actually Sarang Madgulkar. मराठी लोकांनो हा पूर्णपणे मराठी महाराष्ट्रीयन माणूस आहे धुळ्याचा.
That's perfect.
And right now he is in Calgary, Canada, and we are fortunate enough to have him today to discuss or to share with us about his knowledge and his works about building planning, what he does in Canada. We were together from 1986 to 1990 in Government College of Engineering, Pune as civil engineering students. Then he joined Konkan Railway, worked over there for about 8-9 years, and then he went to Canada. Afterwards, he did his architectural diploma also in Canada, and then started his own consultancy, or you can say his own office. Now, why I'm telling you this particular point is because we have seen many people who are now CEOs of big companies who are having their offices, but majority of them, they are in IT sector. Very rarely you get people from our civil engineering sector who are running their own business in foreign countries, and Sarang is one of them. So I'm very proud that one of us from our COEP batch is now having his own business, and particularly in our own field. And so it gives me double pleasure that one of my classmates is now addressing you, that too in the capacity of a businessman, successful businessman from Calgary, Canada. Next, I would talk in Marathi particularly. एक 2 मिनिटं, कारण त्याची अजून एक ओळख आहे. I know that all students may not be understanding Marathi well, पण आता पुण्यात राहिलायत म्हटल्यानंतर थोडं तरी मराठी नक्की माहिती असेल, आणि सगळ्यांना छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराज हे नावही नक्की माहिती असेल. सारंगचा या विषयात विशेष अभ्यास आहे. आपल्या सगळ्यांना एक गोष्ट शाळेतनं शिकवली गेली, आपल्या पुस्तकातनं सांगितली गेली की शिवाजी महाराजांचा एकदा पराभव झाला होता, आणि तो म्हणजे पुरंदरच्या लढाईत मिर्झा राजे जयसिंग सोबत. पण सारंगनी 2 वर्ष अविरत मेहनत करून असं सिद्ध केलं की तो पराभव नव्हता, आणि त्याच्यासाठी त्यांनी पुरावे शोधून काढले. त्यांनी प्रचंड काम केलं, आणि त्याच्यावरती त्यांनी एक ई-बुक लिहिलेलं आहे, आणि ते ई-बुक त्यांनी फ्री ठेवलंय. तो बऱ्याच लोकांना ते ईमेल वरनं पाठवतो, आणि हे त्याचं खूप मोठं कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन आहे की एका बाजूला तो आर्किटेक्ट आहे, सिव्हिल इंजिनियर आहे, व्यावसायिक आहे, आणि दुसरीकडे महाराजांच्या बद्दलचं प्रेम आणि मराठी मातीबद्दलची त्याची असलेली ओढ त्याला स्वस्त बसू देत नव्हती. त्याच्यासाठी त्यांनी हे सगळं काम केलं, आणि ते पब्लिशही केलं, आणि त्याला किंमत ठेवली नाही. सगळ्यांसाठी फ्री त्यांनी ते अवेलेबल करून दिलं. सो टुडे आय एम व्हेरी हॅपी टू हॅव सच अ पर्सनॅलिटी अमंगस्ट अस. सो नाउ आय डोंट कम इन बिटवीन यू अँड सारंग. I am also very eager to see his projects and how he explained how he planned different kinds of residential and commercial kinds of projects, particularly in foreign countries. So I think now it's over to you, Sarang. I will not say dais, but I would say the screen is all yours now. I will just mute myself and I will go off as well. Thank you. Whenever you require, I can just unmute myself and talk, no problem.
Sir, before we start the session, just a small announcement over here.
Yeah.
we will have a session right now, right? And at the end, we will take the question and answers. I'll be taking care of the question and answers. So students are requested, like if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box so that at the end I can take them, right? And we can have a question and answer session at the end of the session. Right, sir? So the screen is all yours.
Yeah, okay.
So
you
kindly
can
go
start
ahead,
your
sir.
presentation. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can,
you can start the presentation, sir.
Thank you, Srinivas. Thank you for this elaborate introduction of me. And I have made this PowerPoint Google presentation actually, slides, so that it will be easy. So instead of watching me, you can see my projects and I will explain as we go along. I will start with the, this is my daughter, she is helping me
Yes.
doing this presentation. So I started my company Glenbrook Design, that is in 2013. But before that, I did this diploma in Calgary actually. So when I completed my Bachelor of Engineering in 1990, as Londe sir has already told, in 1986 to 1990, I joined Konkan Railway. So I worked really hard there, but for some reason, I couldn't, there was no satisfaction for me for the design aspects, because, you know, in railway projects, all those structures are quite already decided on, and you cannot have that freedom to design those things. It is quite sturdy, as you know, the railway bridges and all those things. But after having that experience of 8-9 years, I decided to resign from that job because the project was completed, and I was not interested in working in the operational phase of that project. So I came back to Pune and wanted to do something, and then I joined my brother, who was a dentist. So actually there was a career shift suddenly happened. That's I started working in dental technology field. And then after that, I decided to come to Canada, and I came in 2002. And I started working in dental field again, but somehow, again, sometimes it's hard to find out your passion. And I found out my passions, that I should be doing this work of architecture in a field. And so I took admission in a college here and decided to do my diploma in 2012. So this is a picture that you can see me in the background. This is my college. You see this building, which is quite new, which is also designed by one of our colleagues who had come for as a guest lecture, just like I'm doing this here. So that's quite a pretty new building, but this is a big campus. But there is another slide, next one, which is this old building here, which is more than 100 years ago they built this one. So again, me in the front. So I completed my diploma of 2 years. I used to go to attend the class full time, and even I can say that one of the professor was actually younger than me, quite young. So I was actually senior to him. Anyway, so after finishing this diploma, I started looking for a job, obviously, but you will be surprised to know that I couldn't find job for, I believe 8 to 9 months. And I was so frustrated. And then I decided that I will start my own company, where it was actually a very kind of a difficult task. But fortunately, I got my first client. And it's a commercial company doing the commercial projects. That is called a Prism Group of Company, where you can see this company's logo here, Prism Group of Company. They used to do the commercial projects, generally acquiring the land development. So they are developer and builder. So this is my first project, and I was very happy that I got my first client right in the beginning. Here you can see the very first things, as I can say that there are 4 disciplines that you need to work here. The 4 disciplines are either you are working in a commercial or residential or institutional or industrial. So I'm also fortunate to work in both disciplines, that is a commercial and residential. So I got this commercial project in the first place. The major task here, I was given that I need to come up with some, obviously, the drawings for their project. And the first thing is, I need to tell you one thing here, that when we do the construction of anything for any projects, there are two types of permit that we need to work on. Now, I believe that Londe sir has already instructed you to follow my company website, and I told that everybody should read that frequently asked question. And so there are two kinds of permit, that one is a development permit and one is building permit. So we need to get permission from the local authority, which is a municipality of that city. It starts from the site plan. Every site plan has to be in a metric system. So as we know, this is it should be in a millimeter and meter. And commercial projects are done in a metric system. All the drawings are prepared in that. And the residential, they are made in a imperial system. So being this, but apart from anything, whether it's a residential or commercial, your site plan has to be in metric system. As you can see, this red border is a property line. So there was nothing here. This is agricultural land before. This was agricultural land. So we came up with this road network. And then there are small parcels that we can do the construction here. So this is one parcel here, which is right adjacent to the main road here. So as you can see, this is a kind of a strip mall, commercial complex. This is also first story, single story. But here on the corner, all this one, and all these three buildings are 4-story building, office buildings. So that's the plan. So we have to come up with this, this site plan first, and then, but like the client doesn't understand the 2D site plan, right? So they want to see how the vision would look like, how the buildings would look like. So we have to come up with some 3D modeling. So you might have heard about the software AutoCAD. So I have made this site plan, 2D site plan in AutoCAD, but the 3D plans, 3D modeling I have done in Revit software, Revit architecture. I'm not sure whether you are aware of this Revit software or not, but that has a 3D modeling capability. Also, it has rendering capabilities. But like people doesn't understand this very much, and they don't appreciate. So they want to see actually how the building would look like, how the project would look like. I made this 3D modeling in Revit, and this is how this turned out. Okay. So people can visualize here how the future the project would look like, and they can take a decision. Also, we need to submit this plan to the municipality to get this approval for a development permit. So there is a difference. Development permit means how the project will be developed, what kind of usage for that property, whether it's a commercial, residential, industrial, those kinds of things, where municipality also has to get the permission from public. That's the main thing. Because if some people have objections, they can raise their objections there. So the development permit is for that. For development permits, we don't need the actual detailed construction drawing. It's just the concept. So I have quite a freedom to while designing these things. So will these buildings will be constructed actually in reality? Not exactly, but the concept is there only, that they would look like something similar to this one. So now this one is the strip mall where I was showing this, and guests. So this is Eco Park North. Now people can understand, oh, okay, this is how the project would look like. So these are the renderings. This is not the actual things that you might have learned here. So this unit is one unit. So I'm saying this is 20 feet in the front, and inside it's a 65 feet deep. So there is a parking area and the lawn and all those things. So we can see these things. So it turned out very well. I did this rendering in Revit again. There is another software also that is called SketchUp. Now see another views, the same building in the middle, 4-story office building. So you can see this. I think that's a great image. There are other softwares like 3D Max that's also be used, but in Revit we can make the drawings and renderings also. So you are seeing these renderings here. So you can see this car wash and this commercial units here, right? So these are all good for marketing purpose, so that the developer can give this show to their clients, so that client can take a decision to purchase this land or the property, and they can take a decision. And afterwards, so currently there will not be anything on this parcel, okay? So so there is one petrol pump that I designed here. So while doing these things, I need to come up with different ideas how the vision would be. So need to discuss with the city to get the ideas from the clients, what they are looking for, and also we have to put this into the city guidelines, that is called bylaws. So as I said, for development permit, we need to follow the bylaws. So there are two types of things, that the legal issues that we need to take care of. One is the bylaws, and the other is called what is called building code. So right now I'm focusing on the development permit. So I'm just following the rules of municipality, that is a setback, how much setbacks, like how much the building has to be away from the property line, those kinds of things, right? How many parking stalls we needed for this one, that we need to be taken care of, right? So this is also, again, I was told that the building has to be a little bit different. So here I have used the glazings, like all those glass panels here, just to have them little bit differentiation. So all those are renderings for this park I enjoyed. So that's a kind of gives an idea of a commercial project that I did. I enjoyed it almost for 1 year, and finally we got approval for this project as a development permit only. Now let us start with one residential projects. Again, same concept. We have to start with what is called a site plan. So this is one of the residential projects that I got it. The main architect was different, but anyway, I did some drafting work here. Again, the same things. You have to come up with some flavor. Now, generally, our drawings are all black and white, just lines. But for the customers to understand, we need to make them a little bit colorful so that they know it. So here is the main road here. You can see Sage Hill Drive. So it's a kind of a housing project, basically. So it's like an apartment, you can see that. Not necessarily as a flat system, but kind of a row houses, I would say. So you see this blue housing scheme here. So all these are kind of row houses. Each one is an individual house. So on the first floor, they have garage plus one flex room. And then on the second floor, they have living room, kitchen, and dining area. And on the third floor, they have bedrooms. So I made these plans. You can see the site plan. We have to mention the scale, because this is in metric system, 1:550 scale. We need to show the north arrow. That is a must, and give some description about that. Okay. So when this project is done, you can see that row houses that I was talking about, that was shown in blue. So this is on the first floor, this is a garage. You see this garage for their car. So this is a first floor, which is a living room and kitchen and dining area. And then on the top floor, you can easily figure it out. Those are bedrooms. Here we can see some balconies, but some balconies are on the other side things. So here you see on the first floor, you see in the middle, we have kitchen. This is my daughter. This is a dining area, and from living area, I have taken this picture. So this is a quite standard format that I can see that in Canada, the middle class family live in this kind of environment. So here is that what is called stove. Then we have fridge and microwave, and then here is a sink. They can eat here or in the dining area also they can eat. So generally it's a quite open floor concept, and 9 feet ceiling. So there is another unit from living room. I have taken this picture. So this is a living room. This is my daughter. This is a kitchen area, and then at the end we have dining area there. So here is a staircase somewhere, but you can see the flooring and all those things, which is quite a typical situation. Next one is the another pictures from dining area, different angle. Again, the from outside, this how this look like. So that's the first building was constructed. Then the construction is now continues. So that's I think couple of years back I took this picture. But this is now kind of a bungalow system or a single family, we call it. To start with, there is one video I'm going to play quickly. I hope you will like this video. So that's a single family home that I designed here.
Hello, this is Victor reporting from Calgary, and my father, Sam, has a company called Glenbrook Design, and he designed this house right behind me, right here. So let me show you.
Very typical house, middle class family. So as you can see in the front, they have garage, and then one thing is I want to mention that there is a basement. So basement is underground, and this is a kind of a requirement here because of the adverse weather condition, which is very cold here. So I want to introduce one thing again. It is called RPR, Real Property Reports. So in Real Property Reports, we get the details of that property from the client. So in that Real Property Reports, we see the property line, basically the legal descriptions, north arrow. When I say legal description, it's the address of that property. So there are two types of addresses. One is municipal address, and other is a legal description that is for the surveyor. So they have lot numbers and parcel numbers, those kinds of things. So from the real property, we get the details and we create a site plan first for submission of that building permit. So in the next first initial project on commercial project, I was talking about the development permit. Now we will talk about building permit. So what is building permit is where you need to create actual drawings of that property, whether it's a house or anything. And you have to be very particular. This drawing has to be in detail. So now it's not a concept. The concept is already done in the development permit. We got the permission, all those things. But here, the building element has to be as per the things. So what this is called building code. So your drawing has to be as per the building code. A book here, kind of thing.
If you can see
If you can see here,
the video.
you can see in this one, that's called the National Building Code. So it's quite a thick book that we need to study, and everything's about rules and regulations. So we need to follow those rules so as to get the construction as safe as possible. It has to be safe site. So in development permit, it's about the but about the building permit, it's about the safety. So how much the thick walls, or what is the size of the windows and all those things. So in this particular house, you can see there is a garage. It's a 2-car garage. Then here is a living room. Then behind this, there is a kitchen and living area. We also have the video for this house. And then upstairs, you see this is 1 bedroom, another bedroom here. And then behind that,
Washroom.
there are master bedrooms. So there are total 3 bedrooms. And then underneath there is a basement. You see this window here. So that's a window underneath. So one thing about this house, I want to say that how I get this work. This house was actually there, existence, like a very old house, but unfortunately it caught in the fire and it was completely gutted out. The funny thing is that there is a very fire station right behind it, very close to it. So when the persons called, the fire department actually thought that it was somewhere else. The fire truck went a little bit ahead, but it's right there actually, just the lane in between. So this is the backside of that house. So this house was actually constructed once again. I designed it. So I made a lot of changes in that because it was old house and clients need some different types of things here. So the building footprint was same, but the house was now totally different. So we will also have the tour of this. There is a video we can go on. So okay, so while constructing, I have taken some pictures. So there is a staircase. You see this is a living area, and you see this in the previous video. You saw this. This is called studs, and these purple things, those are insulations. You see,
because it's so cold.
And it's so cold. So this is a different kinds of methodology that we are using in Canada. The houses in Canada are the really best in the world. I would say that this is because the temperature drops down to -30.
Cold.
You see the ceiling is incomplete. That's is called 6 mil polyethylene. It acts as a vapor barrier. And then above you see they have a roofing here, but I will go into detail afterwards. Again, the client want to see the 3D model. So I made this 3D model in Revit architecture. And then you see this while at the construction. In the video also you saw these things, right? My daughter was explaining this thing. So this is a garage, 2-car garage, and upstairs they have bedrooms here. You see this entrance here. So this is a garage. So here I want to show inside. So this is, I think, one of the bedroom. You see this one is trusses. These are wooden trusses that they want to make. These are the wood studs. See, this is the exterior wall. And then obviously called OSB. One thing I want to mention that I have done this only on the architectural side, but the home has to be also designed from the civil engineering point of view. So the civil engineer also get involved in this one. So what their part is, they come up with these flooring things. Like you see this yellowish thing, that's a beam, wooden beam, and these are the joist, I section. All this is like wooden, all factory made. So this is a wall, interior walls. So this wall doesn't carry any loads. The only exterior walls are carrying the loads of the roof and floor. So this is a, so the civil engineer has to come up with this spacing and their sizes, all those things, so that they can carry the load they want. So okay, I will show you another video of that Okitoks homes. So just enjoy quickly. I hope that you are enjoying these slides. Okay.
Hi, hello. This is Mukta reporting from Okotoks, and my father Sam has a company called Glenbrook Design Calgary, and he's the one who's designed the house right behind me here. And he shall be doing a tour, and I will show you. Let's get started. So this is the interior, the outside. This is the garage.
Two-car garage.
Two-car.
Neil?
Let's go. This is the hall.
Work is still going on.
Still like happening like a science. This is the kitchen. This is the kitchen. This is the kitchen. Whoa. Kitchen. This is the living room. The fireplace. This is the basement.
Going towards the basement.
This is the laundry room.
Laundry.
Garage.
Neil. Stop him.
And this is the upstairs bathroom. This is one of the bedrooms.
Getting a nice view.
This is the other bedroom. this is the master bedroom. Thanks for watching, and that's the end of my tour. Bye!
So I believe that you get some idea of a residential house in Calgary from two projects actually. One is Savannah House and another is Okotoks. So these are typical houses. Now we'll go to the next project. All those construction are new construction. Now I will go to now this particular house that I'm talking about is more than 70 years old. You can see that's the first building permit they got in 1952. So we're quite old houses. So instead of demolishing walls, they just removed the dry walls and some. Now this is the interior wall. It was there, so we removed it. So they have quite small rooms there. So instead, I prefer to have an open floor plan. So we removed this interior wall, and there was a kitchen here and living room. So kitchen and living now together. So you can see before and after. Same thing with the commercial project. So how I get these projects? You know, in 2013, there was a great flood. Calgary was underwater. Same thing. There was a small village near Calgary. It was really devastated. I mean, I can say that almost 5 to 6 feet of water on the road. So it was completely submerged. And this was the old look. So it was completely damaged. So the client actually called me and want to do the new things. Only the exterior wall was there, which was concrete, but inside it's all gone. And it was quite old, maybe more than 70 years, as I said. So we did again new one. So the original plan was, here is a combination of commercial and residential. So underneath there is a commercial retail shop, and upstairs there was a residential unit because it was in the town. So we did this project, a new one. So inside you will see like this. As I said, you can see this previous one when it was old one. You see this drywall was completely damaged and it was submerged here. So half of the portion was underwater. It was all mud and all those things. And you can see it was very old looking. And this is a new look. So before the client moved in, I couldn't take the picture. So when I actually went there again, because it's out of town, they already put their furniture. It's kind of a shop here. You can see this one lady here. So that's another project. It's just a renovation. So nothing major, but you have to come up with some ideas. Another project. So we saw that typical houses, but sometimes some people are rich and they afford to have a very big house. Here is a farmhouse. So it is in the adjacent province. Near the location is also very great. It's a Mara Lake. Right near the lake, there is a very big lake, blue ocean, like ocean type, very beautiful. And near that lake, there is a mountain, and on the top of the mountain, this house will be. So this is called a custom home, because as per their liking and wish, they can have their home look like. Again, there is no restriction as such, because in the city you have restriction, bylaws, development things, all those things. Here you can do anything because it's in the forest or in the, so it's a farmhouse basically. So that particular client has 80 acres of land, and he can do anywhere. So from the mountain, you can see how very beautiful views. Now we also stayed there for 3 days, and he has his private launch and all those things. Now this is a construction of that custom home. It's a 6,000 square feet again. Now here particularly, you don't see the wooden studs as you see you saw in the previous houses, because this is a little bit different walls that we used here. These are factory walls, so it's like joining the Lego pieces. This factory wall, so you can see this wall like a 4 feet wide and 9 feet high. So these panels are made in the factory, and here they just transport and just assembled here, right? So the basic thing is these are not concrete or wood, but these are what is called magnesium oxide panels on both sides. And in these two panels, there is a styrofoam, so which is called structurally insulated panels, which is a quite latest technology, which are very durable, and the latest technology we have used here. All these exterior walls used as a load bearing wall, they carry the loads. And also in this wall is also load bearing here. So here we have living room, that's a dining area. And so that's a kind of a basement we see. Then there is a first floor, and then there is a second floor. So this is another look of that how under the construction. Unfortunately, I don't have the picture of the completed project, because it's in the 600 kilometer away from it. I need to go
6-hour drive.
So there is another job, another project, which is just a facade upgrade. Sometimes people need to just want to have their house look beautiful from outside. So we did this project. As you can see, this is a old look. So you can see this is like this brickwork, big pillars. This look a little bit ugly. This porch. So same house now. Nothing changes, major changes, but just the entrance was made different. So now this is the after it. So I made a little bit sleeker and looks quite beautiful. Look welcoming for the. So that's a kind of upgrade. This is also kind of a big house here, which is in the heart of the Calgary city. Now we talked about this commercial project, but we didn't talk about the small shop inside them. So I also got fortunate to work on this project where you need to, once you buy it, they have shops here under inside the mall. So for this particular project, unfortunately, this site was quite weird in shape.
Yeah.
Generally, we got the shops as in a rectangular shape, remember, or square, but this is like a corner lot. So this is a corner shop. So this is like a 45 angle here. So we have this demise wall. What is demise wall? Is kind of a wall between two shops. And you will see when I went there, it was the previous shop was like this, what a photography shop. So this is in the mall. So we got this shop, and the client want to. So this client is now leaving photography. They will, and my client will be taking over and want to do the. It's like changes for a mobile shop, mobile cell phone, basically selling the cell phone. So they didn't do this much anything here. They just put the frames and all those things in old one. They put this just sign here. So you see, I mean, there is nothing interesting here.
Appealing.
Not appealing anything. It's just a basic things they have done. So that was the previous thing. So when we come up, I designed the things again, and this is how I made here. So they have showcases, and also if you see here, the mall has this much here, the ceiling space. So there is nothing much. So I dropped down this with the board, and after this is how it look like now. So much welcoming, open floor. So I put the showcases. I designed this showcase. This project is more particularly for the interior designers, I would say that. So you need to know all those material palettes, color themes, and light effect. So the entrance, I have made it in a black things, which is like a shiny effect. And not only that, I put LED light, LED light borders. So which makes looks very appealing. And also I focused on the sign here, which is also in a light company names. The mobile is called the name is Mobile Cube, and all those are all cell phones here. So here is a counter that I designed, The other things are same. So that's a small project again, 1,000 square feet hardly, but that's on the interior decoration side. So client was very happy with that. So I'm giving you a kind of a flavor here of different types of project that I handle. So I know that.
Hello, my father has a company called Glenbrook Design, and he actually designed the store right behind me, Mobile Key.
So there is another concept of what is called modular home. Remember, I told you that the previous house that I showed, those are um, quite a bigger one, and they have a basement, and it involves concreting. It has a concrete wall. But sometimes what happens, people can't afford to have a bigger home for two reasons. They can't afford it because of the money, or sometimes they have to build this house way away from the city. So going away and constructing a house away from the city is quite take transportation and all those things, which increase the cost. So what they have is called modular home. Literally, the home is constructed in a factory, and then it was put on the
Property.
on the trailer, and the big truck carries it and just place it there. So literally on the ground, we put this concrete block. You see this one? So these are concrete blocks. I can say 2 feet to 3 feet wide and 8 inches thick, just concrete block. And on that, we put some wooden planks to just get the required height. So it's a kind of a 2 feet hanging in the air, just based on these things, nothing else. So there is no such a solid foundation for them, but because they are small, they can easily turn on. So, but they are made in factory, they are just carried to the side and put it there. So you see this one, another portion. So this is a main house that they can carry. So the dimensions for this one house is 18 feet by 60 feet. So in one shot, they can take it there, and afterwards the porch and this garage, they can also attach it afterwards. The backside there is this thing. So you will get some ideas, which is quite economical and affordable for them. And if they want, they can again take it from there and go somewhere. So inside I have shown this kitchen area. Again, this is a 3D modeling in a Revit architecture. So you can see this typical things, the fridge and the stoves and sink here, dining table, all those things. That another shot, another views. So you see this one is our concrete block underneath, and then there is a wooden stack of wood. I will show you. So this is the house that I designed here for one of the client. I will show some pictures quickly because we are running out of time.
Hi, this is Mukta again, reporting from Rock TV Calgary. And my dad, Sam, from Glenbrook Design and Drafting Calgary, designed this modular home right over there. Just let me show you around. This is a modular home, but it's not finished yet.
This is addition, right?
Yes.
So the cool thing is, this is a modular home. Modular means the foundation yes, hallway. We have this roof with 2 by 12 rafters. It will be unventilated roof.
That is the cupboard. It's in like closet, I think.
Main closet, and this is a bedroom.
The bedroom. And this is probably the closet.
Existing room.
Got a great view.
Barn here. Let's see.
Never mind. Thank you for watching. Bye.
So that's one the planks here. I will go quickly. So that's one of the house that they can shift it. This is a clubhouse for that. Sometimes what happens, they develop a scheme and then quickly have the kind of modular houses, like maybe 50 or hundreds of houses, but they need a clubhouse so they can come here. So there's a swimming pool in front of it, and they can have a clubhouse. They can make a party. They can. So it's a kind of a community hall. That so you get the idea from here. Okay. So I'm going quickly over here because we are running out of time, but I think we are almost there. So that is another view of the community hall. So one of these projects this is called condominiums, kind of an apartment building. So from outside you see while they are constructing, and on top of the roof, I have taken some picture. So this is I also work for one company for exterior things. So they are making roofing and exterior things. So I am top of that building now here. This is myself in this black jacket.
It was cold.
It was really cold. I think -10 or something like that. So so this is a type of roof. The roof has to be also insulated. So you remember I am talking about -20 degrees centigrade. So you see underneath here, you see this white slab. That's a thermocol. We can see that. That is called EPS styrofoam. Then this gray sheet is also another insulation. There is a 2 layers of 3 inches of this, and then you see this here. The top layer is called TPO sheets. So this gives insulation. So even though it is covered with snow, underneath there is a warm. So heat transfer is not there. Okay. So I wrapped up. I think I believe I a little bit over time, but I believe I did a good job. And these are the projects that I have made, but now we have some iconic structure in Calgary.
Yes.
So Srinivas, are you hearing me?
Yes.
You can come
please,
over. Okay.
You please go ahead. It is going on excellent. You show the iconic structures.
Okay, now I'm going to show you quickly the iconic structures. Maybe my daughter will help you this, because the previous one was project made by me. Now the iconic structures are made by the renowned architects, but those are the projects I think you should also be aware in Calgary. So the first thing is, this is a library. Yeah. So about this library, this is really very recently constructed. The challenge was this: there is a existent railway track. As you can see, the train here, the local train goes there.
Right under it.
So on the top of that railway track, they designed this this library actually, which has a quite different shapes and different. So these are windows that from inside you will see those windows.
There's like 4 stories.
And this is 4 story. This is first story, second, third, and 4 story building. Train going underneath, and which is very costly. I mean, $245 million the cost. So we have some inside. So this is quite iconic structure. We are very proud of this, and tourists also come here to just visit this library. Inside you see like this one. So this is when you enter the library, you see these views.
You'd come out here and then.
So from here you can see this is the first floor, and then different types of floors. Now they couldn't catch this in this particular.
Many books.
But like we have video fortunately, and my daughter will explain that.
I've gone there a few times. It's really nice.
Yeah. So Another is a Bow building in
That
Calgary.
Bow building, huge, huge.
Yes, this is one of the skyscraper, one of the topmost building in Western Canada. Again, this is a kind of a new building. When I was working, I was studying in a college. One of my professor was working in this building on some, so he was also a participant as a contractor project. And when I was attending the college, he showed me in his presentation that he was right here. Some checking of those things, and that picture was quite scary. You can imagine here he was holding his gear and all those things. So this is an iconic building again that we Calgarians are very proud of.
Yeah.
Very new one. I think 8-9 years ago they just started constructing, made it. Another building is called Taylor's building.
It's really weird.
So this is I think still it is under construction. You can see the crane here. So you can see the previous building, the Bow building is right here behind it. It is hidden. And this building is a residential, although the Bow building is commercial. So this is a downtown area of Calgary. You see all those skyscrapers. But this skyscraper will be the highest now. And the main thing about, although this is a commercial hub, all other buildings are commercial, this particular building is residential, although there are some offices underneath. But you see these cubes or small boxes, that each unit is like a residential unit. So everybody will get that views and all those things. So which is very, very modern, and they use the very latest technology.
See the entire city.
You can see the entire city. This is just a 15-minute drive from my home. I just live nearby. So this is a Calgary here, Calgary view. Another thing about this, that everything that we made, so this is a bridge.
Peace Bridge.
One thing I just want to mention, as a civil engineer, when somebody construct a bridge, he just did it for the sake of doing it. I mean, it's just, as you can see, the railway bridge, particularly in the railway station in Mumbai or Pune, they have just trusses and it looks boring. But particularly here, the architectural elements are added. So the bridges are designed by civil engineers, whereas this particular bridge is designed by an architect. And you can see the difference here. So which is quite look nice. I mean, definitely we want to go there and want to see.
Wow.
This is not for vehicles. This is just for the
Walking.
pedestrian, for walking. As you can see here, the railings here, those are of glass panels. You see the railing here,
Look
and
down
then the top
over.
of it is covered with the glass panels, and these triangular shapes are open, so they act as a windows. I have so this is really in downtown area, very nice and iconic bridge that we should be aware of. So, and then we
This is
have
the
library, central library. That's another tour, and that will be the end of session. And I believe that you will love this library. So again, my daughter, now initially she is talking very slowly and
Because
very
it's
calm,
a library.
because it was library and people get disturbed. So, but this is on the 4th floor. We started this.
Into the
You will
train.
see in the initially the train passing underneath, and you will have some idea of this one. So just enjoy this video.
Hello, this is Mukta reporting from Calgary in the new Central Library. And behind me, in the background, you can see the Bow Valley College.
Bow Valley College.
And that's the Bow Tower, the biggest tower in the Western Canada. And this is a municipality or city hall where my father actually gets his permits to do his drawings. And now I will show you a tour of the library.
This new library. Okay. Stay there, please. something.
And this is the top floor too.
Yeah. This is East Village, downtown area, and Central Library. You can go ahead, follow that route. On the right hand side, the municipality building. Okay, go. So we are on the top floor.
And one thing I love about it is this wall. It looks like a normal wall, but
You can raise your voice now. Go. And now we are on the top floor. And then you can see the sky and the high. And then this way. That's the camera.
thanks for watching, and this is the end. Bye.
Awesome.
So that's the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed this, and definitely I think 1 hour was not sufficient, but I could have explained you in a better way. Over to Srinivas.
Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful and a beautiful session. Both these words are apt for this presentation and the session. Beautiful and wonderful. So thanks a lot. And special thanks,
let me just interrupt. Sarang, total attendance was 153.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that shows it was a wonderful session. And students got a lot of information. Not only students, we also got a lot of information from you. Over to Preeti ma'am.
Right.
Yeah. Sir, also a special thanks goes to the kiddo, your kiddo. I could see a budding and a next generation engineer coming up in making.
Yeah.
So thank you, kiddo. Thanks a lot. right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
She was managing all those things. I was not aware
Yeah,
of
no,
this.
and I could see the enthusiasm which she has. So it's really wonderful. Next gen, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
I'm also
let's.
thankful for you for giving me an opportunity to talk with the students. And I mean,
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes.
So we have the next session over here, right? We'll go for question and answers right now. It's okay for you?
oh yes, definitely, yes.
Yeah, so actually the chat box is flooded with questions, but due to time constraints and this, I'll take up some few of them. So the
Right.
first question goes on something like this, that in the case studies which you have shown, right, the whole house is made up of timber or wood. So
Yes.
vis-a-vis the RCC constructions which you can normally see in Indian context. So what is the
Right.
reason for this, and what type of timber or wood you use over there? So that's what is the question. Over to
Okay,
you,
the
sir.
main thing is this is Canada. So what happens here? So we have a lot of forest area.
Yeah.
So the wood is available in plenty. So there is no dearth of wood. So we use this timber. So that's the main reason for that. Again, as I said, this is a adverse weather condition here. So in especially in winter, this wood construction actually keep the house very warm, and it's very easy to assemble also. That's why this wood construction is preferable. As in case of public library, you can see, or in a Bow building, they are not even kind of a RCC plus, but they are steel frame structures. So in commercial structures, you generally see the steel studs, whereas in residential, you see wooden studs there. But basically, that's the main difference. Wood is plentiful, and that's the reason. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We'll go on to the next question. The next question goes on something like this, that there's one case study which you had shown in which the house was burnt earlier. So there was a
Right.
fire over there. So what kind of precautions were taken when the building was newly constructed again? So what were the precautions you took?
Against the fire?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Against the fire. What
Against
what were
fire.
the precautions you took? Yeah, for the new construction.
Yes, for new construction, generally in the house, as I said, like for a building to get approval, we need to follow the building code. And in the building code, there are fire code also, which are very stringent. For one example, I would show that there are adjacent windows. The adjacent windows, we have a very strict rule about the openings. You cannot have a bigger window for the adjacent things because the flame could go out. So we have some measurements there. I could have explained this in a better way, because but lack of time, I couldn't explain. Then again, we have some detectors called smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. That's also there. The house that I'm residing here in this particular things, if you see in this particular, now you cannot see, we have sprinkler system also
Everywhere.
everywhere. So what is
Everywhere.
sprinkler
There's like
system
one
is
over there.
in the house, in the wall, they have put pipeline. So when there is something fire happens, that
Smoke protection.
with that it get activated and the sprinkler starts in that particular room. So that extinguish the fire. So these are the few measures. I can go on other things also. For example, I mentioned the drywall. So the walls are actually fire resistant. So those are dry walls are made up of gypsum board, so which are quite fire resistant material. So I can say that these are the measures we take to avoid fire.
Okay, that's fine. So the next question goes something like this, that the designs or the plans which you had shown, especially they were made in Revit, right, sir?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So students would like to know, like, what will you suggest, like what softwares these civil engineering students should learn, in their 4 years span, 3 years span
Yes.
now. So
Yes,
what
definitely.
is your suggestion?
I know that when I talked with Londe sir, he said that I think most of the students work on the AutoCAD, which is from Autodesk.
I grew up learning on that.
But when I was learning AutoCAD and when I was get acquainted with Revit, I was so, I was so pleased. I was so glad that I like Revit architecture software very much, because compared to Revit, then AutoCAD is just a very things like where you can just draw lines. So there are other software I can suggest for students, that is called SketchUp, Google SketchUp.
I used that growing up.
Yeah, Google SketchUp is a free software that students can download, and they can easily learn. Even like my daughter, she also make the house in Google SketchUp. It is so friendly and very easy.
Students, you can kindly make a note of this as well. Google
Yes.
SketchUp.
Google SketchUp. But I prefer Revit. Revit has a 3D capabilities, and it's a very best software.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah.
fine. The next question goes on something like this, like with reference to the examples and the case studies which you had shown, like can you give some tips, that's what was the word used, for Indian housing structures? Can you suggest something, new techniques or new materials which can be used for Indian housing
Right.
structures?
Yeah,
Just
one thing I noticed that when I was there, those were the traditional methods we use, like RCC structure and those kinds of things, flat roofing. But now, fortunately, the industry also has evolved very much, and now I can see the studs, like same typical things. Studs and drywalls construction is also becoming popular. Same thing with what is called asphalt shingle roof, the inclined roof. We say slope roof. Uh, Previously, I didn't see such a kind of roof in India before. So, which is a quite a change. And definitely, I can suggest that their students can work on different projects from abroad also. So, uh, the companies from here also do the outsourcing. So, and we can use this technology there, but I would say that they need to focus on environmental friendly houses, basically. Energy consumption is a big thing. So you might have heard about LEED, LEED. So the houses, the construction has to be environmental friendly. We need to take care of air quality and water resources and what is called sustainability. It has to be energy efficient, those kinds of things. So I think student has to focus on these aspects, environmentally friendly houses.
So thanks a lot, sir. Actually, we have many questions over here, but due to the time constraints, we would not be able to take all. So what I request the students is you can write it to me through mail, your questions, and I can forward it to sir, and eventually we can get the answers, we can get his suggestions as well.
Right.
So
yeah, and if they are interested,
because,
I'm ready to devote more time for them. If they ask for extra time afterwards for a meeting Zoom, any times I will be ready. And then again, I can share my email so they can.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
That
Again,
will be really wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah. Again, on Facebook, I have put some video pictures. Sorry, the pictures on my album. They can go on to Sarang Madurkar's profile and visit the album. It's a public, open to public. And also on YouTube, I have uploaded some other videos of my project that they can visit on and glean some information.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot. So today we come to the end of this session, and I would like Dikshit madam to go ahead with her vote of thanks. So before that, HOD ma'am, would you like to say something?
Yes,
madam.
Yes, Preeti ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, your session was really very wonderful. Students have definitely enjoyed the videos and the various plans you have shown for different buildings. As you said that we rarely construct wooden structure in India, and you have almost shown all the wooden structures, and we come to know some of the basic requirements of wooden structure, like we have to install the insulating panels, then vapor sheets. Every building almost is having a basement, and we have to take care about the fire regarding the fire protection of the structure. So the session was really wonderful. Looking at the enthusiasm shown by Mukta, I think after 3-4 years, we will invite her to conduct or deliver a lecture to our students also in VIIT. So overall, it was a very nice session. So thank you for sharing your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Pradna, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Priti ma'am, and thank you, Shilpa Patel madam. Respected Professor V.S. Deshpande, Director VIIT, Professor Londhe, and other dignitaries, and today's our esteemed guest, Mr. Sarang Madgulkar. Good morning to one and all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, Dr. Pradnya Dikshit, on behalf of entire Civil Engineering Department of Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, Pune, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Mr. Madgulkar for such an excellent knowledge-oriented webinar on building planning, which covered not only the civil engineering aspect, but as well as the architectural approach of construction of buildings. So you have given a very good, wonderful case studies journey to all of us, where we could see commercial eco park, 3D modeling of that. We could know about the Revit software. Then we turn towards the residential projects like Sagaville Garden, then Savannah Gallery, which was for a single family home, but wooden stairs and OSTs, we could know about that. Legal documentation processes, old house renovation of fire hazards, Okitoki's house, where you have used actually the insulation panels, vapor barriers with polyethylene sheets. That was wonderful experience to learn all about it. Then the custom house, Mara Lake home, 6,000 square feet, a huge home where you have used factory walls of 4x9 feet. Then facade upgrade, Photoshop to mobile shop, a renovation, excellent renovation, and modular homes. Then we could know about the clubhouses, and lastly, iconic structures, excellent and marvelous structure like library, Bow House, and Tellus building, etc. So I really appreciate these efforts and our sincere gratitude towards you for this profound speech. We are very thankful to your very, very young assistant Mukta and her involvement in all projects and all videos. Furthermore, we are grateful to BRAT's VIIT management and director, sir, for constant motivation and encouragement for this international webinar. I wish to express sincere thanks to all the deans and head of the departments of VIIT, and special thanks to Professor Shilpa Patel for her support. Also, we are grateful to Professor Londhe for her every communication and coordination with you, because of which we could hear you today. My sincere thanks to Ms. Devika Verma and Nitin Sakre for her entire help and coordination in the live seminar. And last but not the least, I'm very thankful to all the students, participants, faculties for patient listening. Again, once again, thanks a lot. Thank you, Mukta. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sarang, thanks a lot. Absolutely wonderful session.
Right.
And, I know that it is about say 10 o'clock over there, so it's very late in Calgary, and here our day is right now going on. So have a very strong weekend, and we will definitely be in touch, and I would come back to you.
Yes, and definitely I'm open for other questions also, and if they are interested, we can arrange this one more time. I have no problem.
There are many, sir. I've made a list of it. There are many of them. I've made a list of them. I'll surely mail it to you, sir, in due course of time.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. Yes.
And we will also share the feedback with you, because feedback is already circulated with the students. So you can also get an idea how exactly students are feeling about this particular lecture. So as you said, this is a new kind of venture for you. You can also get an idea that how the students, what they exactly felt about this particular presentation. So that also we will share with you. So all in all, it was a very nice experience. And as I said, we will be definitely in touch. And thanks a lot for everything and spending your time.
It's my pleasure, and definitely it's rewarding for us also to get connected with the people
Yes.
from our country. You know,
Yes.
share this presentation with them as well if you haven't shared with them, so
Yeah,
that they
already
can
it
back
is with them.
and, oh yes, yeah, they can look through, and I'm open for communication again.
Yes,
So
sir.
I think 1 hour was not enough, so I could have gone little
Yeah. That's right.
but that's fine. At least they would get an idea of.
Yeah, in this see in this coming year, coming semester, we can plan something more also.